Hello, my dear students. I hope you and your family kept safe while enjoying the holidays. Welcome back to English class with Ma'am Cleo. Let's get right down to it and check out our learning targets for today. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify the different functions of nouns in sentences and use nouns correctly in their different functions. During the past first and second quarters, we studied nouns and some of its kinds, namely common and proper, collective, singular and plural, and lastly, possessive nouns. As I've mentioned, we will be learning about the functions of nouns in this video. But before we get to that, let's first review what exactly is a noun. A noun is a part of speech that names people, places, animals, objects, events, and even ideas. With that, let's begin our lesson. Now, the reason why the noun has so many different functions is because a noun can be found in different parts of the sentence. Let's take a look at this example. Mr. Garcia, the traffic officer, stopped the school bus of my brother. In this sentence alone, we can find 4 nouns. Mr. Garcia, the traffic officer, the school bus, and my brother. Sometimes, nouns may be written with articles or modifiers. These groups are called noun phrases. Let's try and identify the function of each noun. Our first noun is Mr. Garcia. The noun Mr. Garcia functions as a subject in the sentence. It is the one that is being talked about in the sentence. The subject is easily recognized as it is usually at the beginning of the sentence and is followed by a verb. Our second noun is the traffic officer. The noun the traffic officer tells us something more about the subject, and this noun is called an appositive. Appositives are usually found right after the subject and are set off by commas. Our third noun in the sentence is the school bus. The school bus is the direct object in the sentence. The direct object is the receiver of the action of the verb. We can identify the direct object in the sentence by asking the question, Mr. Garcia stopped what? Direct objects usually answer the question, who and what. Our last noun in the sentence is my brother. The noun my brother is the object of the preposition because it follows the preposition of in the sentence. Object of the preposition is the object that comes after a preposition, or simply, it follows a preposition. So far, we've discussed 4 functions of the noun, as a subject, an appositive, a direct object, and an object of the preposition. But that's not all. A noun can also function as an indirect object. Indirect objects usually answer the question to whom, to what, and for what. Let's take a look at these sentences. The traffic officer gave the motorist a ticket. There are 3 nouns in this sentence: the traffic officer, the motorist, and a ticket. In this sentence, the traffic officer is functioning as a subject as it is the one that is being talked about in the sentence. And a ticket functions as the direct object as it receives the action of the verb and answers the question the traffic officer gave what? A ticket. And the last noun, the motorist, functions as the indirect object as it answers the question the traffic officer gave a ticket to whom? The motorist. Let's take a look at the next sentence. The motorist showed the traffic enforcer his driver's license. Once again, there are 3 nouns in the sentence: the motorist, the traffic enforcer, and driver's license. This time, the motorist in this sentence functions as the subject as it is the one that is being talked about. And driver's license functions as the direct object as it receives the action of the verb. And the last noun in the sentence, the traffic enforcer, functions as the indirect object as it answers the question the motorist showed his driver's license to whom? The traffic enforcer. Indirect objects can also be found in prepositional phrases that begin with for or to. Let's take a look at these sentences. The traffic enforcer gave a ticket to the motorist. There are three nouns in the sentence: the traffic enforcer, a ticket, and the motorist. The traffic enforcer functions as the subject in the sentence, and the ticket functions as the direct object. The motorist functions as the indirect object in the sentence because it is part of a prepositional phrase that begins with the preposition to. The next sentence, the motorist took out his driver's license for the traffic enforcer. Again, there are three nouns in the sentence: the motorist, driver's license, and traffic enforcer. The motorist is the subject of the sentence. Driver's license is the direct object in the sentence. And the traffic enforcer is our indirect object because it is part of a prepositional phrase that begins with the preposition for. A noun can also be an object complement when it renames the direct object. Let's take a look at this sentence. The Metro Manila Development Authority named Mr. Garcia Outstanding Officer of the Year. There are three nouns in the sentence: the Metro Manila Development Authority, Mr. Garcia, and Outstanding Officer of the Year. The Metro Manila Development Authority is the subject of the sentence, and Mr. Garcia is the direct object. Outstanding Officer of the Year is our object complement because it renames our direct object, Mr. Garcia. And lastly, a noun can also function as a predicate noun or predicate nominative. A predicate noun is a noun that follows a linking verb and describes the subject. Let's take a look at these sentences. Mr. Garcia is the Officer of the Year. We have two nouns in the sentence: Mr. Garcia and Officer of the Year. Mr. Garcia is the subject of the sentence, and Officer of the Year is our predicate nominative or predicate noun. Our linking verb in the sentence is. Let's take a look at the next sentence. The owner of the black van is Joey. We have two nouns in the sentence: the owner of the black van and Joey. The owner of the black van is our subject, and Joey is our predicate nominative or predicate noun as it renames or describes our subject, the owner of the black van. Our linking verb in the sentence is. Let's study these sentences and identify the function of the underlined noun. Our first sentence, the red car was stopped by the officer. The underlined noun is red car. The noun the red car functions as the subject in the sentence as it is the one that is being talked about. In the next sentence, James, my brother, rides his bike to school. The underlined noun my brother functions as in a positive as it tells us something more about the subject. The third sentence, everyone should practice social distancing. The underlined noun social distancing functions as the direct object because it answers the question, everyone should practice what? Social distancing. The fourth sentence, private vehicles are not allowed on the yellow lane. The underlined noun, the yellow lane, is the object of the preposition because it follows the preposition on. The fifth sentence, my mom lent my brother the car. The underlined noun brother functions as the indirect object in the sentence as it answers the question, my mom lent the car to whom? My brother. The last sentence, Miss Charity is a science teacher. The subject in the sentence is Miss Charity, and science teacher is our predicate noun or predicate nominative, and the linking verb in the sentence is. Now let's practice what we've learned today with this short activity. Grab a piece of paper and something to write with. Identify the underlined noun or noun phrase as a subject, direct object, a positive, object of the preposition, indirect object, object complement, or predicate nominative. Pause this video now to answer. As always, great job finishing this video. Don't forget to check your Schoology accounts for activities about today's lesson. Once again, this has been English Class with Ma'am Cleo.